Fox, in case you couldn't tell, and I'm acting in a play coming up in the St. Ambroise Montreal Fringe, opening this week at Cabaret du Mile End. The play is called Urge for Going. It has a little bit to do with Joni Mitchell, a lot to do with fun, and it's produced by Montreal's own Quality Slippers Productions. Join us. Hi, my name's Bekky O'Neill. I'm the Artistic Director of Quality Slippers Productions, and I am the writer and co-director of this piece, along with Keith Delprincipe. So our production is called Urge for Going. It is the story of a young girl growing up in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, who is tired of her provincial life and dreams of moving to the city to follow in her idol's footsteps. And in this case, her idol is Joni Mitchell. The inspiration for this piece had a lot to do with growing up as an artist in Canada, and feeling, the need to explore not only what that means, but also what it means to be a female artist in a domain that is really dominated by men. And so it's sort of an exploration of a young artist coming of age story in a world that maybe isn't exactly the way she'd like it to be. I would say that the story is certainly inspired by a lot of very personal elements. However, it is fiction, and what it is really inspired by most of all is the thematic content of Joni Mitchell's songs and visual art, which really served as the inspiration for this play. It was developed with the assistance of a grant from the Canada Council for the Arts. And I would be lying if I didn't say that when I first pitched the project, I was hoping for something they might consider funding. Thus the heavy Canadian content. But what's more than that, Joni Mitchell has always been sort of a personal idol for me, and so it is my way, I think, of saying thank you to her and her work. Urge for Going is our second collaboration with Ronley Tepper, who is a Toronto-based musician, and at Quality Slippers, we really believe that it's important to provide multidisciplinary spectacles to our audiences. I think that me personally, I've found that theater audiences are dwindling. We all acknowledge this, and so what we do is we attempt to use different mediums and bring them together to increase A, our audiences, and B, our audience interest in what we're doing. And so we always use works that are a combination of different mediums. This time around we have hand puppets, we have life-size puppets, we are working with animation, shadow puppetry, live music, as well as actors. So we hope to provide a sort of feast for the senses. So I think a lot of the elements that we bring out through puppetry and through animation and these other forms of sort of object-related performance have to do with the fantastical elements of our story. I personally believe that the world is still a magical place. You just sort of have to look for it. And our character is a dreamer. She doesn't have very many friends, and her closest relationships are with woodland animals. Whether or not they are real or imagined sort of is for the audience to decide, but it's a way of presenting the fantastical in a way that's concrete in the theater. So Ronley Tepper and her band, the Lip Liners, and I have been aware of each other for some time. Our first collaboration was a play in the 2011 Summerworks Festival called Exit Pursued by a Bear, which we had a 9-foot-tall bear in, which took up quite a lot of our allotted 3 feet by 5 feet of storage space. So Ronley and I decided to collaborate on this after getting into the Fringe. And for me, it was really important that in a play about a musician, that we were working with live music, and also that in a play about somebody who's very inspired by a musician that is clearly of historical significance, that we do her work respect by presenting it with taste, and then also sort of a new take on it. And what I love about Ronley's work is that she's not just a musician. She comes in, she plays a session, she goes. She's really a true artist, and she's a performance artist. And so her work is such a fabric of, becomes fabric of the script and of the piece together. And it's not just about a play with music or a concert with visuals. It's really about creating a multidisciplinary spectacle. For those of us who do avant-garde work. Toronto is not the easiest marketplace to sell it, shall we say. I find that Montreal is really open and willing to take chances on new artists, but also to invest in non-conventional forms of theater. I mean, I think that the success of Cirque du Soleil and Cabaret and other sort of Montreal-based troupes really speaks to that. Toronto is much more about the arts patrons and the money and the numbers, and much less about, you know, artistic creation. I think that Montreal is a really amazing scene for fostering new talent and trying things out. However, we will be touring our show to the Toronto Fringe afterwards, so we shall see how that goes. For me, this project really for me feels like a realization of it. First off, it's a realization of 2 years of work on this script and this project and the design of it. You know, something that started as a 4-line grant application has really taken over my life. So seeing it realized is really exciting. What is also exciting is the opportunity to collaborate with artists who do different things. You know, we have musicians who in real life are musicians. Like, I'm a puppeteer, I'm also an administrator. My partner Keith is an animator, and we all sort of do disparate things. This is a chance to see how those things we do really apply in the context of collaboration, and it really gives us a chance to play in a way we might not, you know, be able to otherwise. And I think that at the heart of interesting, strong, and honest creation, there is always play. And I think that's what it's all about, is learning how to do that again and trusting your instincts, and maybe hoping that through that you can find something magical that is worth sharing. Well, Concordia derailed my life in a really excellent way. I started attending Concordia in 2005 in the theater department. I was majoring in playwriting, which is a super small department, or I should say subsection of the theater department. There may be 4 or 5 people in it, and that was initially a sort of an isolating experience, but I think that being part of such a small group of people really allowed me to branch out and experiment with different forms of theater. And it was through my work at Concordia that I got involved with doing puppet work, actually by doing a course with Bread and Puppet Theater down in Vermont. And since then my life has been moving further away from words and then more in the direction of images, and I think that Concordia is a really incredible atmosphere for developing artists, especially because so many of their departments do have an inter and multidisciplinary focus and really allow students to go in directions that maybe they didn't start going in. In the fall, I will be going into the film animation program there, trying to take what I know through puppetry and image-based theater and create video work that can then be, shall we say, disseminated more easily throughout the world. My company is called Quality Slippers Productions. I suppose we officially founded ourselves in 2008. Our first major piece was part of Pop Matters, which was a collaboration, I think a one-time collaboration between Pop Montreal and Art Matters Festival, where we worked with the Montreal-based band Sweet Mother Logic to do a folklore puppet spectacle at Les Saints Bar, and then from there it's just really been about finding new ways to collaborate. And when I think about it, really, it's the combination between puppetry and music is what we really like to present. The company is named after my grandfather's company. He was a Holocaust survivor and emigrated to Canada under the guise of being a furrier, which he was not, but eventually became a furrier and founded his own company, which was called Quality Slippers and Vests Limited, and so my company is named for him.
love.